After spending months away from television after WrestleMania, Bobby Lashley finally made his return to television last year in August, aligning with former multi-time tag team champions, the Street Profits. And it's been about 5 months since they first joined forces, and to be honest with you, it has not been the smoothest of 5 months for these guys, with the faction almost being on the verge of breaking up a few times, with Bobby Lashley being less than impressed from the Street Profits. And that was not even the worst part about the faction. The worst part about the faction was that they did not have a name. If you know professional wrestling, you know that every single faction has a name. The first thing that they have is literally a name. I mean, even the very short-lived Core had a freaking name. It was called the Core. But at least after 5 months, it seems like Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits will finally have a name. The faction will be called the Pride. That's right. As per WrestleVotes, their name was set to be revealed on last week's SmackDown, but that got cancelled for some reason. It seems like the plans for this faction are still tentative, because if you remember, last week we also saw BFAB joining this faction in a backstage segment. So could the Pride be expanding beyond Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits? I guess we'll find out very soon. I mean, if you think about it, it seems like they do need a female member. After all, the faction that they are currently entering a feud with also has a very prominent lead female member in Scarlett Bordeaux. A fan noted on social media that they would only be okay with the Pride name as long as the team of Karrion Kross and Authors of Pain, known as The Prejudice. Very well played indeed. The Pride and the Prejudice, it's excellent. But if the Pride really needs a female member, one has to wonder if Bianca Belair would have been a better fit than BFAB. After all, Bianca Belair and Montez Ford are a real-life couple. They even have their own new reality show. So why not have Bianca Belair join the Pride instead of BFAB? If you think about it, it's a no-brainer. But if you also take into perspective, Scarlett Bordeaux is not an active wrestler. She barely wrestles. So maybe they also want a non-wrestling female member in the Pride. And Bianca Belair is a celebrated wrestler. People love her matches. And the WWE also sees her as a very valuable wrestler. So to have Bianca Belair stepping into a role of a non-wrestling member of the Pride might not be good for business, which could explain why BFAB could be a potential new member of the Pride and not Bianca. In that case, BFAB could be the perfect fit. Now moving on, let's talk about Mickie James. She has not been seen on Impact Wrestling ever since she was defeated by Trinity at Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory pay-per-view in a match which was for the Impact Wrestling Knockouts World Championship. Her absence from Impact Wrestling TV led to some fans speculating that she might very well be headed back to the WWE, where her husband, Nick Aldis, is currently serving as a general manager of the SmackDown brand. Even Bayley in a recent interview said that she would love to have Mickie James making her return at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, which of course got the fans talking even more, but now we know that that is not happening. After all, Mickie James has now taken up a whole new role in an entirely different promotion. Mickie James has joined OVW, that is the Ohio Valley Wrestling promotion, as a creative director and the head of female talent. It's clear that Mickie James, with all of her experience and her skills, she wants to train the future generation of wrestlers, pave the way for them, and she wants to work on the future of professional wrestling. And for that, we applaud Mickie James. In addition to that, Mickie James will also be working as an executive producer for all of the OVW shows moving forward. And you might have heard of the name OVW in recent days. After all, OVW was recently featured on Netflix series Restless. Former WWE superstar Al Snow is also a minority owner of OVW. Their shows are available to be viewed for free on YouTube, and it seems like we're gonna be hearing the name OVW a lot in the days to come. It seems like Sting's last retirement match in AEW is going to be a tag team match. It's a wise move considering that Sting himself prefers tag team matches as opposed to singles matches. And usually, tag team matches are preferred by legends because they don't have to carry the entire match and they actually have a partner that they can lean on for support during the match. Just like we saw in the case of Ric Flair's last match, where Ric Flair teamed up with his son-in-law Andrade to take on the team of Jeff Jarrett, who also teamed up with his own younger counterpart, Jay Lethal. In that case, Jay Lethal was the guy who also trained Ric Flair for his last match, so it was all in all a very comfortable area, a very comfortable space for Ric Flair to have his final retirement match. And speaking of Ric Flair, it seems like he's not done. It seems like he's still got that itch to return to the squared circle. He's asking AEW to give him more physical spots in the ring, but as per reports from various dirt sheets, AEW has no plans as of yet to get Ric Flair involved physically in the ring, at least as of yet. Back to Sting now. He is expected to team up with his old good friend Darby Allin to take on the celebrated tag team of Young Bucks. And while not everybody seems to be very thrilled about the choice of opponents for Sting's last match, at least this time, Sting gets to retire to have his own last match on his own terms. Unlike his WWE days, where the world thought that we had already seen the last of Sting when he got injured in a match against Seth Rollins. Now, while plans can change, the current plans call for Sting's last match to be Sting and Darby Allin versus Young Bucks. Let me know in the comments if you are all in for the match or if you are all out. Now let's talk about tonight's SmackDown, because tonight's show is going to be following a very hot New Year's Revolution special episode of SmackDown, which was full of fireworks. The WWE has only announced 3 matches so far for the show tonight. The first one being Bianca Belair versus Bayley. We're also going to be seeing Cameron Grimes taking on Grayson Waller, and we're going to get a tag team match between Cruz del Toro and Wild versus Angel and Humberto. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to share this video with your friends, with your fellow wrestling fans, and hit the subscribe button, as I'm here every single day to share and analyze the biggest wrestling news stories and reports. This is AJ, and I will see you tomorrow.